Dead Space 2, we're on hardcore mode, chapter 3, part 1, basically the only part. We're able to get this whole chapter done in one video.
Hang on.
Okay, so made it through 2, a little through the little train ride there, and when you get dumped off in here, there's some loot around here, so make sure to grab everything you can grab.
Hold tight. I'll contact you soon.
As you can tell, the previous videos, I'm trying to utilize the 4 weapons that I have. Knowing the game the way I do, I kind of know some of the battles that are coming up where I could utilize the mine gun and try to save. And by all means, you know, anytime you can use your stasis and get some melee kills in there to save you some ammo, then definitely do that as well. Okay, so going to the marketplace and buying some of the weapon packs and the suits will definitely make your life a lot easier. It just goes without saying, the money that you're making you can be using for ammo and power nodes instead of having to purchase suits and weapons. So when you play hardcore, you're pretty much forced to start at the beginning. You can't use a save game, so you're starting off with nothing. And you pretty much have to manage everything, the money that you're making, whether to go defensive, being, putting power nodes towards stasis and your rig, or going offensively and putting it towards your weapons. I have not put any points on my rig yet, but I definitely will be throughout the game. Got like the first cluster of power nodes on the Air Force gun. It is my main weapon throughout the game. And the ammo is the cheapest to purchase throughout the all the ammo, so that will be the only ammo that I pretty much purchase. Okay, when we get to the other end, it's going to spawn up a whole bunch of the little feeders, the baby little necromorphs. I'll definitely try to throw some mines down, but it'll be an Air Force battle most likely when we get up there because there's just too many of them coming at you. Okay, one of the nice features about the mine gun.
Isaac, you're still alive? We can't talk. I think they're tracking our signals. Are the memories coming back to you? They're coming back to me. The good ones. And the bad ones. The more I remember, the more my head hurts. I keep seeing the symbols. The symbols too, Isaac? In him. They keep seeing his face.
Okay, you can just equip it, the mine gun, and then hit your alternate fire and it'll disarm it and drop it back down the ground so you can re-pick it up again. Although I didn't do it there, I will be doing it later in the game. Okay, so I purchased a whole bunch of the Air Force ammo. I mean, I'd rather be just buying power nodes, but the way the ammo's coming at you, you have to be buying some ammo for that gun. And like I said, the rest of it I just kind of use as I pick it up.
There's this crazy guy that keeps contacting me. I saw him back at the hospital.
Nolan Strauss. He was a patient in the project, just like you.
Yeah? Well, why was he there? What does he want?
He's a psychopath, Isaac. Stay clear of him. He murdered his own wife and child.
Okay, I'll be careful.
Attention. This is Director Titan. A station-wide emergency is in effect. According to the Titan Station Civic Code, I am declaring martial law. All citizens are ordered to evacuate. Looters will be shot on sight. Move immediately to the nearest evac route. Attention. This is Director Titan. A station-wide emergency is in effect. In accordance with Titan Station Civic Code, I am declaring martial law. All citizens are ordered to evacuate. This is not. Move immediately to the nearest evac route. Attention.
Dana, I thought you were routing me to residential. This looks like a unitology recruitment center. Am I still on track?
Yes. There's an old maintenance access point in there that'll take you through the waste disposal system and into the Cassini Towers. Stay sharp.
Okay, so we're coming up to our first decompression window here, and considering we're on hardcore, you want to use caution anytime you're using these windows. You want to have your shit pretty much ready. There will be times where I will just shoot this window without the enemies dropping. Just don't want to take the chance. There's always the possibility that you can miss the little triangle and get sucked out. On the other game modes, it's not really a problem, but on hardcore, that could be a problem. But with this one, you got a lot of distance here, and you should be able to get the enemy sucked out and get your little triangle at the same time. I believe in like chapter 9, there's another window, and you just don't really have a lot of distance there, so I will actually opt not to really shoot that window and try to get the enemies dead without having to crush that glass. So I'll do my best to stasis them and just try to kill them without shooting near that glass, or doing my best not to break it. Okay, hardcore mode is just about getting from point A to point B, conserving your ammo as much as possible, and trying not to get damaged at all. So the decompression windows are something that I don't really want to mess with. And like in chapter 7, I want to say, there's a window there, and I don't know, there's a pretty good battle in that area. So I'm way off to the side, and I go ahead and shoot that window without getting sucked into it, and then shoot the little triangle. Just don't want to be dealing with that in the middle of battle. Just dealing with the enemies that are coming at you is hard enough. So with this one breakable window, like I said, you got a lot of room there to work with, so you can get it done. But in the other areas. I just don't want to mess with it, so I'll go ahead and break it and shoot the little triangle and just deal with the wave without really dealing with that glass. Okay, a little hollow tape there or whatever, a video, guys explaining how to use the kinesis to rip limbs off and shoot them back at enemies. I don't know, it just seems kind of funny. We're halfway through chapter 3. You would have seen that like halfway through chapter 1, but okay, so at this point I have not put any points on my rig yet. Utilizing the stasis comes through play a lot throughout the game, so it just seems more important to do it there. Anyway, we're going to have a little bit of a wave here. So yeah, what I think is that it was later in the game when I realized that I could pick up the mines again after having them put down. Okay, so once we get into this room, look around for any floatable loot that's out and about. Any of the green containers. Okay, what we want to do is go off to this other platform right here. And there's some loot up in this door, so we want to get what we can get in there. Hell yeah, give me that power node. Okay, so just keep an eye on the way the boulders are coming through this thing, or big square bundles, whatever the hell they are. As soon as you get a break, just stay tight to the right side and make your way to the next door there. Oh boy, I hate dropping stuff, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Nice.
You're not Nicole. Nicole's dead. You're not really here.
I hated to leave that behind, but unfortunately, I'm full.
Dana, Timon soldiers have found me. They're tracking me in some sort of gunship.
You're almost here. Hurry.
Get off of me. Okay, so that's definitely one of the downsides of not putting any power nodes towards my rig. You know, whatever damage you take, they put a hurting on you, but that's the trade-off. And since I had to use up some health, I went back and got my stasis module. Hell yeah. Again, so we're on hardcore and we are not being able to use any saves until chapter 10, and we're trying to get to chapter 7 is when we switch our discs, and it kind of checkpoints there. So if you happen to die before chapter 10, it'll go right back to the beginning of chapter 7, which is a hell of a lot better than going all the way back to the beginning of 1. So alright, we're making our way to the church, and this little room here, down there is the door we need to go through. And we're going to have a little bit of a battle up in here, and unfortunately there's just not a sweet spot to use in this room, so you're just going to have to go gangster up in here basically. That little nook where the door was didn't have vents on top of it. Would have been a real sweet spot to defend from. Could have put mines in either direction and pretty much defended in that area, but they kind of like to drop all over when you're in this room, so you just basically need to take it to them. Alright, so run around, grab whatever loot there is, and then we're going to progress on. The little corridor before chapter 4 is we're going to have that gunship. So we need to kind of watch its rotation and then kind of run past all that and get into the church. We'll end chapter 3 and start chapter 4. Okay, so just pay attention to the rotation of the bullet fire here. Trust me, you don't want to get caught up into that
He's found you. He's
thing.
in the church,
Don't
hurry!
worry about your air. You should be able to get past him. Alright, chapter 3 is over. We will see you on the next one.